Good evening, you're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. Eid al-Adha holiday is announced for the public and private sector starting next Thursday and ending Monday 13th of Dhul Hijjah, corresponding to the 9th of June 2025. Hafid Rail signs a cooperation agreement to develop a reliable and efficient transportation network. And a meeting in North Al-Batina Governorate discusses investments in the private health sector and the difficulties and challenges facing its health institutions. Welcome to our news centre. Those were the headlines, and now for the news in detail. The blessed Eid al-Adha holiday has been declared as follows. On the advent of the blessed Eid al-Adha for the year 1446 Hijrah, it has been declared that the Eid holiday for employees in the state's administrative apparatus and other legal entities, as well as establishments of the private sector, will start on Thursday, 9th of Dhul Hijjah, 1446 Hijri, corresponding to the 5th of June 2025, till Monday, 13th of Dhul Hijjah, 1446 Hijri, corresponding to 9th of June 2025. Work shall be resumed on Tuesday, 10th of June 2025. The Ministry of Labour clarified that it's permissible to work on the mentioned days if necessary, provided that compensation for this leave is provided in accordance with the applicable regulations in the Sultanate of Oman. Happy Eid to all. Hafid Rail, the developer of the cross-border railway project between the Sultanate of Oman and the United Arab Emirates, signed a cooperation agreement with Itaminas Mineral Trading, a leading Brazilian iron ore producer. This agreement aims to develop a reliable and efficient transportation network based on Hafid Rail's modern infrastructure and to leverage Sohar Port's location and pivotal role in the import and processing of iron ore. Itaminas specializes in the production of high-quality iron ore with an annual production capacity exceeding 6 million tons. The company intends to export significant portions of its production to the Middle East via the port of Sudet in Brazil, as part of its efforts to strengthen its presence in the iron and steel sector in the region. The North Al-Batina branch of the Oman Chamber of Commerce and Industry organized a meeting on investments in the private healthcare sector. The meeting reviewed the difficulties and challenges facing private sector healthcare institutions and investment opportunities in this sector. The meeting included discussions on the reality of the healthcare services in the governorate, as well as the regulations that serve the citizens and the investors. The Oman Tourism Development Company Umran Group has announced a strong financial and operational performance for the past year, reporting a net profit of 25.2 million Omani Riyals and revenues exceeding 58.3 million Omani Riyals in 2024. Aligned with national efforts to boost economic diversification, the group successfully attracted over 156 million Omani Riyals in foreign direct investments, further solidifying its role as a key enabler of Oman's tourism and economic strategy. In the hospitality sector, Umran continued to enhance its operational excellence. Its hotel properties welcomed more than 820,000 guests throughout 2024, marking a 6% increase compared to the previous year. Occupancy rates also saw a notable rise, reaching an average of 45%, with a 2.6% increase over 2023, reflecting the growth of appeal of the group's portfolio and its contribution to the country's tourism-driven growth GDP. Oman and Brazil held the second business forum in Muscat to boost trade and investment ties. The event focused on key sectors aiming to foster sustainable partnerships between both countries, private sectors. More details coming up in the following report.
The Sultanate of Oman and the Federative Republic of Brazil are strengthening their economic ties through the Oman-Brazil Business Forum, held in Muscat and organized by the Oman Chamber of Commerce and Industry. The forum highlighted the two countries' commitment to boosting trade and investment cooperation while opening up new avenues for long-term economic partnership.
We are very happy to be here to the second economic forum with Oman. We are always well received and we are very happy to be here. We brought a bunch of new entrepreneurs that are among the best in Brazil from the most diverse areas, and we are feeling very welcome. And we are going to live here with a lot of good business for both of us.
The event focused on a range of vital sectors, including food industries, furniture, chemical products, energy, healthcare, veterinary medicine, entertainment, services, retail, and construction. These sectors were identified as promising fields for investment, technology transfer, and the localization of knowledge, critical elements for future development.
It's already part of the government agenda to do this again, and in the next year we are going to be back here with a lot of new entrepreneurs, a lot of new business, and it's going to be a pleasure again.
The forum served as a platform to enhance private sector collaboration and build a more integrated supply chain between the two countries. By engaging key stakeholders from both sides, the initiative aims to support sustainable economic growth and improve market access through mutual understanding and opportunity mapping. With Oman seeking greater openness to global markets, the forum reflects Oman's ongoing efforts to diversify its economy. It also underlines the strategic role of interactive platforms in encouraging private sector participation and attracting international investment.
In appreciation of teachers' contributions and their pivotal role in building generations, North Sharqiya Education Department organized a celebration on the occasion of Teachers' Day. The celebration had segments focused on praising the high role played by teachers and the importance of education to the students who are the future generations of the Sultanate of Oman. It also had an operetta highlighting traditional Omani arts and their role in consolidating values of identity and citizenship within the hearts and minds of students. The celebration was held under the patronage of Her Excellency Dr. Madiha bint Ahmed al-Shaybani, Minister of Education, and witnessed an honouring of 144 teachers and educators. The Supreme Judicial Council organised an introductory meeting in Al-Dahira Governorate to present its long-term strategic plan for the year 2024 to 2040. The session outlines the key pillars of the strategy which align with Oman Vision 2040 and aim to modernise judicial services through innovation, technology, integration and digital transformation. The strategy places particular emphasis on the adoption of emerging technologies and artificial intelligence as tools to streamline litigation processes and enhance service delivery. With this forward-looking approach, the Council aspires to position the Sultanate of Oman as a global leader in judicial excellence and competitiveness. Omani students took the spotlight at the Global Culture Tourism Expo of 2025, showcasing bold ideas and cultural pride, paving the way for a vibrant tourism-driven future aligned with Oman Vision 2040. More details in this report.
Omani youth drive innovation at Global Culture Tourism Expo. At the Global Culture Tourism Expo 2025 in Muscat, Omani youth took the spotlight as students from the International Business and Service Management Program showcased tourism research projects aligned with Oman Vision 2040. The initiative was supported by the Minister of Higher Education, Research and Innovation.
Today we're presenting the outcomes of our semester-long journey for our Tourism Contemporary Issues course, where we're presenting research on tourism, for example, the perceptions of sustainable smart tourism destinations, and the insights we have are really promising to the industry and to contribute to Oman 2040 vision.
This exhibition was an opportunity for us to showcase the research papers that we have been working on and that have contributed greatly to our development.
A prominent panel titled Contemporary Issues in Tourism, led by Dr. Dawood Al-Jahwari, brought together academic and industry experts to discuss sustainability, cultural preservation and the future of tourism.
Research paper focused on sustainable smart tourism destinations by analyzing how prepared major cities in Oman such as Muscat and Nazwa to transform into smart cities, and also analyzing the locals' perception on this transformation.
This is an exciting event where each group promotes a specific destination in an engaging way. This experience enhanced my understanding and knowledge about Tunisia.
What a wonderful opportunity to connect my major with this expo, on which we organized a booth related to tourism in Tunisia. We chose Tunisia because it's an interesting country where it combines traditional and historical aspects.
It's a great opportunity to visit the expo that represents different countries around the world related to South Africa, Arabian countries, as well as the Gulf and America.
The expo also highlighted Oman's cultural richness through traditional crafts, music and immersive tourism experiences. Many booths representing countries from across the globe attracted visits from embassy officials, showing strong international engagement.
So first of all, it's really great to see how much this event has grown over the years. And one of the really exciting things for us as students is that to get expert feedback on our research and on our projects that we've worked really hard on. And this feedback really helps us to narrow down our focus and to see how we can apply our work to real-life situations.
The event reflected vibrant youth involvement and cross-sector collaboration, strengthening Oman's status as a rising hub for cultural tourism and innovation. Abdullah bin Ahmed Al-Rubi'i, Sultanate of Oman Television, Muscat.
Thank you, Abdullah. Internationally, U.S. President Donald Trump's Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff presented a new proposal for a 60-day ceasefire in the Gaza Strip, which includes the release of 10 detainees. According to the new proposal, the prisoners will be released in 2 batches within a week. Hamas will also have to hand over the bodies of 18 abductees it's still holding in Gaza Strip in exchange for the release of Palestinian prisoners from Israeli jails. If the Palestinian resistance and Israel reach an agreement, the remaining prisoners in Gaza are scheduled to be released under the proposal, along with the withdrawal of the occupation army to the positions it controlled before the start of the last offensive last March. The proposal also stipulates that the United Nations and international relief organizations will again assume responsibility for distributing aid in the Gaza Strip. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky called on Western countries and the United States to increase international pressure on Russia to end the war against Ukraine, noting that there are no signs yet of Russia's readiness for peace. Meanwhile, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov announced that the second round of direct negotiations between Russia and Ukraine will be held mid-next week in Istanbul, Turkey. Lavrov considered that the conditions for resuming negotiations were created with the support of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the United States and Turkey. Lavrov's statements come after the first round of negotiations witnessed a prisoner exchange between the two sides, in addition to an agreement to prepare documents defining the positions of both parties in preparations for a sustainable political settlement. South Korea kicked off a two-day early voting period today for a snap presidential election to pick a new leader after Yoon Suk-yeol was removed from office over his short-lived imposition of martial law. 5.24% of total eligible voters had voted as around 10 a.m. according to National Election Commission data. A record early voting turnout for the same period and higher than 3.64% during the 2022 presidential election. There are 3,568 polling stations across the country open for early voting that will be allowed between May 29 and 30th. Election day on June 3rd is a public holiday, and voting will be running from 6 a.m. until 8 p.m. local time, with an indication of the results likely to start emerging that evening or early the next day. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's news bulletin, here are the main points once again. Eid al-Adha holiday is announced for the public and private sector starting next Thursday and ending Monday 13th of Dhul Hijjah, corresponding to the 9th of June 2025. Hafid Rail signs a cooperation agreement to develop a reliable and efficient transportation network. And a meeting in North Al Batina Governorate discusses investment in the private health sector and the difficulties and challenges facing its health institutions. With that, we do come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here in the newsroom and the studios, it's good night, stay safe and enjoy your Thursday evening.